Erling Haaland earned £1 million a week. Did you hear that correctly? £1 million a week. The same wages as Lionel Messi, the greatest player to ever grace this game. We'll be delving into all the reports, all the crazy news stories. I'll also be delving into the links to Eduard Camavinga, the youngsters superstar from Rennes. And finally, I'll be discussing Aguero links, and Chelsea are apparently leading the race for his signature. But before I have to get into all of it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions on each topic that I do speak about. But without further ado, let's get straight into this news edit video for all of you guys. Now, starting off with the craziest news story, and it is Erling Haaland. It is Erling Haaland, of course, but his wages, his wage demands. Now, please take this with a pinch of salt, because a few weeks ago, Raiola, he was visiting Barcelona and Madrid. He flew to Madrid and Barcelona with his father, Alf. Alf is, of course, Erling Haaland's father, who is also part of his representative group, his entourage, essentially. And they met with Joan Laporta, the Barcelona president. They met with Florentino Perez, the Real Madrid president. And it came out after from Fabrizio Romano, reliable Tier 1 journalist, that they didn't discuss agent fees or wage demands or anything. It was just to see the plans, the projects, what were they proposing to the club, how were they going to lay it out for Haaland. And there wasn't any finances involved. However, a few weeks have gone by, so secret meetings may have taken place, or the Zoom calls, or the secret meetings that they've had, and it's come out that according to the Mirror, they're reporting that Raiola's plans for his client Erling Haaland are claiming that Raiola wants to make Haaland the first £1 million a week player. Raiola believes Haaland deserves to be the first player to hit that landmark, labelled as a generational talent, and all the clubs have been warned they will have to pay top prices if they want to acquire the Norwegian. Haaland's representatives believe certain clubs will pay up if Haaland does not become available, but it's a move which could put off many with the eye-watering sums being offered. Raiola's camp have already flown to Spain for talks with Barcelona and Real Madrid as they plan for the future. Chelsea want a new striker, and Haaland is the #1 target. Sergio Aguero, Romelu Lukaku have been looked at as alternatives after Thomas Tuchel warned his attackers to prove themselves between now and the end of the season. Otherwise, he could be looking into the market this summer. Now, as I said, it is according to the Mirror, so take it with a pinch of salt. It's not the most credible, it's not the most reliable, but it's still extortionate. Even if it's not going to be £1 million a week, we know his wages are going to be absolutely crazy. I'm not sure how much he's on at Dortmund, but with Raiola as his client, one of the best agents in world football, he's a super agent. He's going to be commanding, astronomical agent fees, and he's going to want the best for his client. That's why Haaland hired him as an agent. He's going to demand, we're talking easily £400,000 a week, and that's even before signing on bonuses, clauses, goals and assist bonuses at the end of the season. Listen, the thing with Haaland is, it's going to be an investment. It's going to be a long-term investment. You're going to be investing millions. We're talking multi-millions of a 5-year plan, because he will be tied down to a 5-year to a 5 or 6 year contract, where each year he's going to be demanding 30-40 million pound a season. And so if you add it up, 30-40 times 5, you're looking at least 150 million pounds, and that is not on his transfer fee. 150 million pounds will just be his transfer fee. Then you've got to pay Raioala's agent fees. Then you've got to pay his father some agent fees. Then you've got to pay his entourage. Then you've got to pay all his bonuses, all his wages. So this investment you're laying out over the course of 5 years, we're talking 350 to 400 million pounds, not euros, pounds. So as I said, it's a long-term investment in the hope that he will deliver you the success, the Champions League, the Premier League. It's a long-term investment, and it's a massive risk. It's a gamble, because what if he doesn't suit the style of play? What if he becomes unhappy? For whatever reason, if he doesn't perform, all that money goes down the drain, and that's why it's a risk. And £1 million a week seems very unrealistic. I don't believe there's a club in world football that can afford that. People are saying that he will be the first player to earn £1 million a week. People are confusing this with Messi. Messi is not on £1 million a week. Messi is on £1 million euros, which is again a slightly weaker currency compared to the pound, but nearly there. It's about £900,000 a week. So again, it's close. Messi earns the most in the world in world football. He has the highest wages, but Haaland doesn't deserve £1 million a week. There is not a single player on this earth, on this planet, that even deserves £1 million a week. There's not. No one is worth that much. But even so, he hasn't proven it. He's 20 years of age. He hasn't won a Bundesliga. He hasn't won a significant trophy yet. So you can't sit here and tell me that, he deserves that. He has to prove it on a consistent basis. And yes, I agree he's a generational talent, but he needs to prove on a consistent basis. And so for me, initially, if he came to Chelsea, let's say hypothetically he came to Chelsea, right? He was tied down to a 5-year contract. Even so, that's a lot of money. But because of his name, his talent, his caliber, the potential, what he's already proven at his age, and the fact that he is up there with your Mbappe's, for me, it's fair enough. And then if he proves in the Premier League, if he guides Chelsea to a Premier League title or multiple Premier League titles and Champions League, and he's top scorer winning golden boots on a consistent basis, a bit like what Harry Kane's doing, justify those wages. But initially coming to Chelsea at the age of 20, you can't justify spending £600,000 a week to what, £1 million? That's ridiculous. And the thing is as well, is what club is going to pay that? Let's say, okay, they demand £1 million a week. Chelsea aren't going to pay that, no matter how rich we are. Man City certainly are not paying that. Barcelona and Real Madrid have got debts up to their eyeballs. They can't even afford that, let alone even think about paying that. Maybe Paris Saint-Germain, but they're already dishing out, astronomical wages on Neymar and Mbappe. So it's like, what club is going to be able to afford those type of wages? It's crazy. It just shows the direction that football is heading. That monetary direction. It's not good, but it's something that we have to face. It's the harsh reality. But moving on to some more exciting news, and it is broken by The Athletic, by the journalist David Ornstein. He's reporting that Edouard Camavinga will not be signing a new contract at his French club Rennes, paving the way for an exit either this summer or when his current deal expires in 2022. So as it stands, his contract does expire next year, so he is going to be entering into the final year of his contract. Now, what does this mean? This means that if he doesn't leave this summer, in January in 2022, so essentially in 8 months' time, he is able to negotiate and contact on his own, without the club's permission, with any club in Europe he likes outside of France. Not domestically, it has to be outside of France because he plays in Ligue 1 for Rennes. He can speak to any club he likes with his entourage and agent, and he can sign a pre-contract 6 months before he turns into a free agent. Now, it has been confirmed, as David Ornstein has already said, Athletic, a tier 1 source, are very credible, that he will not be extending his contract, which is really good news for clubs that are looking to sign him, because that means Rennes can't command top dollar for him, and it weakens their negotiating powers. They may, require 60, 70 million pounds, but they can't request that. They can't because of his contract situation. He's not extending, it's expiring in the summer of 2022. And so they're going to have to sell him at a reduced cut price. We're talking 30, 40 million pounds, even potentially less. Or, Edouard Camavinga might decide, actually, no, I'm not going to leave this summer, but I'm not extending. I'm going to run down my contract, sign a pre-contract. He gets a massive signing on bonus. His agent gets a big payoff, and he signs for any club of his choice. So again, that's really good for Camavinga. But my question to you guys is, would you want Camavinga at Chelsea? Do we even need Camavinga? He's a top talent. Big clubs after him. We're talking your Real Madrids, your Paris Saint-Germains, your Barcelonas. Again, a midfielder, can play in a DM position, very versatile, can play number 8, can play anywhere across the midfield. Very, very young. We're talking 18 years of age, pretty much same age as me. But again, he's got a very, very high ceiling. Great potential, quick pace, close control, good change of direction, good defensive attributes and capabilities. He'd be a fantastic addition. The main thing is, do we need him? As I said, we've got Jorginho, we've got Kovacic, we've got Billy Gilmore. Again, another youngster who's, plays a similar position as Camavinga. And I know that we've got other players. We've got N'Golo Kante as well. And I know that we are also keeping an eye on some other midfielders as well. So is it a case of, would he get the required game time? For me, with Camavinga is, if I was personally Camavinga, I would actually sign a contract at Rennes and stay there for another 2-3 years. There's no rush. You're 18. You don't need to move now. You need to get the game time. At Rennes, you're a regular starter. You're playing week in, week out. Keep developing your game. There's no need to leave. You're 18. You're at the start and the beginning of your career. You don't need to rush a move now and screw your career over. Wait 2-3 years. Wait till you're 21, 22 when you're still very young and mature, but you've developed your game, and then you're ready to make a big move to another club. And you're helping your homegrown club Rennes out, the club that actually made you. So that's my personal decision. But again, the main question to you guys is, should Chelsea sign Camavinga? Let's wait and see what happens. Now, moving on to the final report, and it is on Sergio Aguero. Now, according to various reports, Chelsea are leading the race to sign Manchester City forward Sergio Aguero this summer. Chelsea are leading the race to sign him. The 32-year-old will be available this summer after his exit from Manchester City at the end of the season was confirmed. Aguero has attracted interest from a whole host of clubs, including from the likes of Chelsea, Barcelona, Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain. And according to TYC Sports, Chelsea currently winning the race for the Argentine, who seemed to be a clear leader in the race. Aguero is very comfortable and at ease in England, which has put Chelsea at the front of the pack. It has been claimed that Aguero will demand £250,000 a week in wages, when he negotiates with interested parties this summer. He's reportedly willing to consider offers from Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur, even if they miss out on Champions League football due to wanting to stay in England. City boss Pep Guardiola recently gave the green light for Aguero to join a fellow Premier League club this summer. All of us wish the best for him, said Guardiola. We'll be delighted the decision he takes, the best for him and his family, to find the best for Sergio after the last years of his last years of career, and Chelsea are very interested in him. Now, what are my thoughts and opinions on the situation? We know Aguero, free agent, 32 years old, Premier League proven. He's won multiple Premier League titles. He has fantastic accolades. He's won a lot of stuff. We could have signed him in his prime. We didn't. We opted for Torres at the time. Now, my question to you guys is, would you take Aguero? Now, if we sign Aguero, this could potentially hamper our move for Haaland or any other striker, because, you know, on that type of wages, he's going to have to be a regular starter. Okay, he is injury prone, but we've got Werner, we've got Giroud and Tammy. Now, if we do sign Aguero, that must indicate that Tammy or Giroud, one of them, are leaving, or potentially both of them, to make way for Aguero and, of course, free up those wages. Now, Aguero is, again, you know, targeting £250,000 a week. That is a lot of money for a 32-year-old who is past his peak, past his prime, who is very injury prone, and he hasn't featured much for Man City this season. I would try and negotiate, you know, significantly lower than that. But at the end of the day, he's Premier League proven. He's a goal scorer. He's one of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time. And again, you know, off the bench and impact star, potentially starting some games, he could be world class for us. Could we squeeze out one more world class year out of Sergio Aguero? We'll have to wait and see. Would you want him at Chelsea? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, do smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.